What is going on, everyone? NASCAR Joshua 5 here, and I am back on F125 for some more gameplay today. This weekend, the 2025 F1 season heads to Hungary for the Hungarian Grand Prix, or they head to the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And we're going to do another 5-lap race for you all here today, as I usually do. So after last time out in Belgium, it was a pretty crazy race with some rain during the race, and ended up with McLaren once again getting the victory, except it wasn't Lando Norris, it was Oscar Piastri. Max Verstappen ended up winning the sprint after getting a pretty good run down the Kimmel Straight into that first corner there. So, well, it's not the first corner, but you go through Eau Rouge up the hill and then you go down the Kimmel Straight, and then Verstappen had a nice slipstream. So great job for him to win the sprint. Of course, his first win after the departure of Christian Horner. So Laurent Mekies looks like he's doing pretty well to get the team going after Christian's departure. But anyway, so we're heading to Hungary this time out. And last year, I believe, who won the pole for the race last year? Oh, Lando won the race, or Lando won the pole last year. Lando Norris for McLaren. And of course, we had that controversial moment where Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen got together. I actually just watched the highlights from last year's race just yesterday, just to see like what happened last year, because sometimes you forget, So it was a great race, and that was Oscar Piastri's very first Grand Prix win last year in Hungary. So I'm sure Piastri would love to replicate that here again this weekend. Sorry for that text message there. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get to the race. I will hand you over to Alex Jakes, and this is the last race before the summer break. So who will get the edge? Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win this weekend and who you think will be great into the summer break. And I will catch you next time. Take it away, Alex Jakes.
Welcome back to Budapest and the Hungaroring. It is infamous for its tight, narrow corners that force the drivers to be constantly on top form. They call this place Monaco without the walls, but I'm sure we're in for a great contest. 14 corners then for our drivers to navigate at the 2.7-mile Hungaroring today. It's 6 lefts and 8 rights to comprise a lap here, with an average speed around 120 miles an hour, and the final corner, a favourite of Esteban Ocon, given that he exited it and won his first Grand Prix here. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, and Leclerc, Piastri, Norris, Albon, and Liam Lawson, Alonso, Sainz, Isaac Hadjar, and Stroll, Hulkenberg, Behrman, Esteban Ocon, and Jack Doohan, Bortoletto, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Hello everyone, I'm Alex Jakes. Joining me for this one, a real authority on all things four-wheel. Naomi Schiff is alongside me. It feels like an obvious question, but I think everyone wants to know, at this stage, are you nervous or excited?
It certainly is a time leading up to the race where drivers feel quite nervous because that adrenaline is starting to build and it gets into your mind. So you've got to stay focused, try not to distract yourself too much. But I will say that it's once the formation lap starts, at least it was for me, that was a time where the nerves started to calm down and I got really honed in and focused on the start that was coming.
just need to stick together and make the step forward.
He has left the entire field behind once more. It's victory for Max Verstappen.
And that is another victory to add to the impressive list that he's already got. He trailblazed through the field today, and he'll be trailblazing through the record books in no time.
Now it is time to start the celebrations as we welcome our top three. Well, we've seen this one before. Max Verstappen on the top step once again. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.